Dockery. I'm the Safety and Operations Manager for Team Combined, which includes Blackwell and Combined Transport, right? So I like to start off the meeting and I like to get to know you guys, and then I'll go ahead and segue and tell you a little bit about myself so you can get to know me. So we're going to go around the room. If you can please tell me your name, what division you're going into, and what phase of training you are in. I don't think we have any senior drivers in here right now. Or a little bit about yourself. Jared, we're going to start with you.
My name is Jared. I'm the orientation instructor here at Combined. I also run the new recruitment program through the state. My main experience is in LTL and tanker, and the last 4.5 years I spent as a terminal manager and regional director.
Awesome, thank you. And you've been here for how long now?
Oh, going on 2 months.
2 months
Yeah,
already?
moving on up, yeah.
Gosh.
Time flies when you're having a good time.
Let's go around the room.
I'm Troy, and I'm from Klamath Falls. I'm going to be with Dedicated Fresno Glass.
Okay, awesome.
Oh, I'm Randy, and I do the flatbed training and sometimes help around. I've been here a while, 1998, but not all, about 20 years. There you go.
It's a very long time. Sorry. We can go.
My name is James, and I'm from Sacramento, California, going into the glass dedicated I-5. I like the color blue. I DJ.
You like long walks on the beach? Awesome. And you said you're going glass?
Yes.
Yeah, that's awesome. Glass is a good challenge.
Oh, and we're in the midst of our boot camp training, going to Fresno Monday morning. So.
All right. Yeah, you guys will love David Foster. David Foster he's great. So don't take a bite yet.
I'm about to dig into it. My name is Pete. I'm from Texas, and got about 7 years OTR experience, and I'm here to do glass.
Okay.
OTR glass.
OTR glass. Awesome.
Get around a little bit.
Yeah.
Brian Seyfried, 28 years probably. Flatbed, reefer, drop deck, low boy. I'm doing Carlisle, Pennsylvania designated.
Okay. Awesome. Lots of glass drivers. I really love that. It's been a while.
Joseph, I live in San Antonio with Wichita Falls Glass Dedicated.
Okay.
Been driving about 8 years.
Awesome.
Angel, Wichita Falls, Texas. I'm going to be doing glass dedicated.
Wow. How many glass drivers do we have in here? 4?
4, and my 2 from this week make 6.
Makes 6? Okay. I was like, gosh, I didn't realize we had 6 in orientation. You, sir?
My name is David Ngigi from Seattle, and 0 experience getting into reefer.
Okay. So you came fresh out of school?
Yes.
I love it when we have students. You guys are fresh and eager, and you guys want to do a good job, and I really love it when you guys come here fresh out of school. So welcome.
Thank you.
My name is Matt. I'm local here, moving from Grants Pass to Bedford. Brand new student driver as well.
Okay, awesome. What school are you coming from?
160.
I'm sorry?
160 Driving Academy.
Oh, where is that at?
Right down the road.
Oh, it is?
Mm-hmm.
Oh. Is it called something else too?
It used to be IITR.
Oh, okay.
And then that 160 bottom out.
Oh, I didn't know that. That must be recent. And then what school did you come from?
Skyline Driving School in Seattle.
In Seattle?
Yeah.
Okay, awesome. All right, so like I said, my name is Melissa Dockery. I'm the Safety and Operations Manager here. I've been here, it'll be 9 years on the 23rd. So longest I've ever stayed anywhere. There's a reason for that. So just a little bit about myself. My husband used to drive truck, and he drove for a company called Cross Creek. And Cross Creek later got bought out by Blackwell, and then Blackwell got bought out by Combined, okay? Well, the company that bought Cross Creek out and made it Blackwell was running it into the ground, and my husband was a very angry truck driver. They were siphoning fuel out of each other's trucks and trying to make delivery. Paychecks were bouncing. It was really bad. And Combine came along and saved the day. And after a while of my husband being here, he felt like he was a part of something bigger than himself, part of a team, part of a family. And he really loved what he did. And I was struggling. I graduated with my degree in accounting, and I was doing the books for a couple businesses in Grants Pass, but I saw where they were headed financially, and I wanted something stable, and I wanted to be a part of something bigger than myself, you know. So I applied with Combined Transport for the accounts payable position, and I did not get the job. So, but they did offer me a job. They didn't know what they were gonna do with me yet, but I thought about it long and hard because I thought that numbers and accounting was my passion, and I took a leap of faith, and I trusted that things were gonna work out. So I started out in partner carrier development, which is just a fancy term for brokering. And dealing with outside carriers is tough. Cold calling, and you know, it's just not my thing. So I was pretty much dying slowly in that department, and I was just getting ready to quit, and I was offered a position in the driver services department. The driver services department, I did all the administrator work, so all of the time off, layover, detention, citations, inspections, all that stuff I did for all the drivers. And then I worked my way up to being the lead, and then we decided, because the drivers spoke up and said that they were tired of being bounced around from department to department when they had issues, we decided to create a one-stop shop for you guys, 24/7 one-stop shop. And so we combined the driver services department, the logs department, and the over-the-road maintenance department all into one. So we took staff members that were mechanically inclined and OTR maintenance, and we asked them to become administrators too. We took administrators and we asked them to become mechanically inclined and help out with over-the-road maintenance. And we took people who knew nothing about logs and taught them how to do that as well. Over the years, we fine-tuned it. I became the manager of driver services. I managed it for roughly 5 or 6 years, probably 5 years. And then we built that 8-bay shop up there, and I continued to manage, and then I was promoted August of 19 into the safety role. So I'm pretty well versed in the company. If you guys ever need anything, if I don't know the answer to it, I will find you an answer. Driver services is pretty much the main hub here at Combined. Y'all got a chance to go up there and shadow, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so you guys kind of saw that everything pretty much flows through there, you know. It is still designed to be a one-stop shop, although over-the-road maintenance and driver services is kind of split for specialty reasons. So, all right, so that's a little bit about me. Like I said, this is the longest I've ever stayed anywhere, and there is a good reason for it. This is a great company, it really is, and I'm not just saying that, and I wouldn't stay if it wasn't. But the thing is that you get out what you put in, right? So does everybody know what I mean by that? What do I mean by that? Nope, talking to you.
Oh. Well, I mean, if you want 100%, you gotta put in 100%.
That's right. So if you take pride in what you do, and you're on time, and you take care of your equipment, and you do what's in the best interest of the company, you're gonna be successful here. But you sit through your alarm every day, you don't take care of your equipment, you have I really don't care attitude, and you have service failures, you're not gonna make it here. You're just not. So you get out what you put in. It's all what you make it, right? And just disclaimer, I don't know if you guys have seen any other roundtables, but I encourage participation. So I will call on you randomly. So yeah, you get out what you put in, and I think that that's a huge part of our culture here. Let's talk about culture for a minute. What does culture mean to you?
Like what?
You have no idea?
I'm trying to think of that.
There's no right or wrong answer, honestly.
Just,
I believe it's custom, some leaves, some traditions.
Sure, yeah.
Etiquette.
yeah.
When you go to a company, you want them to have a good culture, right? I mean, cause if they have a bad culture, people are leaving, it's a toxic environment, you know, parasitic, like, you want a good culture at a company. And ours isn't perfect by any means. We've got some work to do, but I do believe for the most part that we embody a really good culture. To me, the culture here at Combined, and I think it means something different for everybody, but to me, it's you get out what you get out what you put in. It's treating others the way that you want to be treated, right? When dispatchers are on the phone with you, they should be trying to put themselves in your shoes when making decisions, you know. When you guys are on the phone with them, you want to treat them with the same respect that you would want in return. To me, that's kind of the golden rule, treat others the way you want to be treated. And that doesn't just apply for within the company, that applies to the outside environment as well. Whether you're in the Taco Bell drive-through, you know, treating the person at the drive-through window with respect, or if another truck driver is broke down and you see that they're in distress, helping out that truck driver because that's what you would want done if you were broke down. You know, just all around treating others the way that you want to be treated. To me, it's culture is owning up to your mistakes, learning from them, and moving on, right? So you own up to it, you apologize for it, you learn from it, and then we move on. Mistakes are okay. When I first came here, I was told, hurry up and fail. And I did not like that at all, because I don't like to make mistakes. So I was like, what do they mean by that? You know, it took me a while to figure out what it actually meant. And what it means is make a mistake and learn from it. And the more mistakes you make, the more you're gonna learn. And so hurry up and do that, you know, so that you can get to where you wanna be. So making lots of mistakes is fine, as long as you're making different ones, right? So you make a mistake, you learn from it, you move on. Then you make a different mistake and you learn from it and you move on. But it's when you make the same mistakes over and over again that we have an issue, right? So you sleep through your alarm. You call dispatch, man, I slept through my alarm. Can you reschedule my load? And it creates a service failure. Fine. Once is fine, right? But if you do it 3 times a week, we have a problem. You know, the key point to making mistakes is owning up to it and learning from it, period. If you don't learn from it, then at some point they're not mistakes anymore, you know? And that's with everything in life, right? I mean, in my opinion. So I believe that that's a key part of our culture. Randy, what else would you say is a key part of our culture?
Well, there's also what you've talked about is forgiveness, but
Yeah.
just the core values, that everybody treat one another like you would like to be treated, and be respectful of one another. It comes back tenfold.
Yep. Well, and let's talk about forgiveness for a minute. You know, in order to receive forgiveness, you have to learn to forgive, right? So, and that kind of goes hand in hand with treating others the way that you want to be treated. We should always try to put ourselves in the other person's shoes and learn to forgive, because one day you are going to want to be forgiven. Hopefully, you know, stuff happens, right? There's other variables out there when you guys are on the road. It's hard, you know, and hopefully you guys don't get into a bad accident, but if you do, you're going to want to be forgiven, you know, because stuff happens. So just keep that in mind when you guys are going through your day-to-day lives. For glass breaks, you know what I mean? It's tough. And your securement has to be spot on, and you have to be very diligent about it and very methodical about making sure that you stick to our securement procedures that have proven to work to prevent glass from breaking, right? But sometimes it still breaks, and there are different rules, inside, outside damage and stuff like that, but you know, if you miss a step and then glass breaks, you're gonna wanna be forgiven, right? Because you missed a step, you're human. We're all human. And what I think sets us apart from other companies is that, you know, because everybody's human, everybody makes mistakes, but what sets us apart is that we own up to it and we learn from it, right? And I've heard about other trucking companies not doing that, you know, and I'm here to tell you, we are a flawed company. We are. When you guys come through orientation, I hear it all the time. Things are so great, they're waiting for the other shoe to drop, you know, it just seems too good to be true, especially for those who have been at other trucking companies before. And we're flawed. We're gonna make mistakes. We are human. And the same goes for you guys, you know. Where'd Jared go? I wanted to ask him what he thought our culture was. Jared! All right, moving on. So that's a little bit about our culture. So I want to go over a little bit about what kind of role I play within the company and how you guys can help me do my job, right? So safety, obviously, is one of the most important things in the trucking industry, right? And it's a pretty tall order to try and prevent future accidents and future on-the-job injuries and future cargo damage from occurring, okay? I rely on you guys. You guys are out there. You guys see what's going on. You guys are doing it, you know, and I need your guys' help because I can't do it from sitting behind a desk, nor do I think that safety should come from somebody sitting behind a desk. I just don't. I mean, I've been out on a truck before with my husband and traveled and all of that, so I do try to put myself in your guys' shoes and relate to you on that level, because being a spouse of a driver is just as hard as being a driver. So with that being said, what are some ways that you guys can be more safe over the road and try to prevent future accidents from occurring?
Get enough sleep.
Thank you very much. That was a great answer. Yes, fatigue driving. And I will tell you that we've had 2 drivers in the last month fall asleep at the wheel. One ended up in bodily injury, including himself, and another was just property damage, but he got lucky. There was a guardrail there, you know. And both drivers are no longer with us. So fatigue driving, there is absolutely no excuse for it. If you are tired, pull over. You know, it's not worth it. I don't care about the load. I don't care about the equipment. I care that you guys go home when it's time for you to go home. That's what I care about. And the company will stand behind that as well. If you are tired, just call in. Communication is key, right? So no excuse for falling asleep at the wheel. What else can we do to be safe to prevent future accidents from occurring? Jason Card. Sorry, you just took a bite, huh?
Put you on the spot?
Yeah. You
What can we
came
do
in.
to prevent future accidents?
Yep. What can you do to be more safe over the road?
Listen to your safety director. There's always keeping an open mind that you can always be trained on something new. I mean, I've always heard, you know, people say that, you know, once you quit learning, that's when you become dangerous. So always keep an open mind.
Always remain teachable.
Yes. Is that a good one?
That is great. Now you can finish your pizza. Pizza ain't free around here. Yeah, remaining teachable. I think that's great. What else can we do? I feel like you want to say something so bad.
Living and learning has no end.
Yep, that's true. What about proper pre and post trip inspections? Do you think that can prevent a future accident from occurring? Yeah, it can, absolutely. It prevents a lot of things from occurring. Yeah. So proper pre and post trip inspections, if you catch things when they're small before they get bigger, you know, then they don't become DOT violations, they're not as expensive for the company, but there are a lot of maintenance items on your tractor that could cause an accident if you don't keep up on it, like your brakes. That's really important, and that's our #1 vehicle maintenance violation right now. Straps.
Make sure your equipment is secure.
Yep, that's right, that's great.
Check it every 3 hours.
Yep, we actually had, well, I guess that one wasn't due to securement, but we have had a load come off of the trailer before due to improper securement while traveling down the interstate.
Oh, damn.
Yeah, it could be really bad. I mean, that's what fatalities are made of. You know what I mean? It's horrible. One more thing. Can anybody, I feel like you have something important to say.
Trip planning?
Trip planning, yes, that can prevent an accident. Can you explain why?
Because you don't have to rush.
Yes,
You don't need to
exactly.
rush.
So if you are diligent in your trip planning prior to beginning your shift, and not everything works out perfect all the time, but you have a really good idea of where you're gonna take your 30-minute break. You have a good idea of where you're going to fuel. And you have a good idea of where you're going to park, you know, and if you don't trip plan and you're not prepared, then you rush a lot, and rushing is one of the worst things that you can do. So that was a really good answer, thank you.
Find a boss, go down a narrow road that you're
Yep.
not supposed to be on.
Exactly,
Making sure you know your load height.
yes.
Speeding.
Weather reports.
We've had 2 bridge hits in the last 2 days.
I seen one of them. that was
Yeah.
bad.
Speeding.
Yeah, speeding. Yep, when we're in a rush, we tend to speed. When we're in a rush, we tend to make mistakes, right? We're not aware of our surroundings, we got our blinders on, right? So, super important.
If you look ahead, you can prevent an accident getting involved.
That's
Put
right.
back out of it.
Scanning the road ahead is huge, and not following too close as
Yeah.
well.
I keep a safe distance,
Yeah.
drive safely in adverse conditions.
Yes, and it's tough though to allow more space, right? Because you got the more space you give, the more the four-wheelers are gonna cut you off.
Well, the more seasoned
Right.
you are, the better space they get.
Yep, exactly. So I know it's tough. The four-wheelers make it real tough out there, but you gotta allow more space and scan the road ahead. You can prevent so many things from happening by scanning the road. Jared, what else can we do to be more safe out on the road?
Mom?
I mean, I wasn't in here for the whole conversation, so I don't know.
It's
what
just
they're
trying to
talking
prevent
about.
future accidents from occurring.
So I know a lot of people in here, they talk about looking ahead. Some of the drivers that have gone through school and some of the drivers that have been through the bigger companies probably learned the Smith system. In the Smith system, they talk about scanning at least a quarter mile ahead of you.
Exactly.
At any time. That way you can look for cars coming in on the road.
Yeah.
You can see bridges, you can see
Traffic.
intersections and traffic.
Yeah,
And you could also watch out for erratic drivers out there.
exactly.
And you can give your space, like, so they talk about giving space, and that is a hard thing. Well, give space to the erratic drivers. Find the people out there that are speeding, zipping
Yeah,
down traffic.
let them
and
go
create
be
space from
idiots
them.
way ahead of you.
Prevent
Yeah.
staring, stare on,
I'm sorry?
prevent staring at something.
Yes, yeah, your eyes should
Because if
constantly
you
be
do,
moving.
It's your peripheral.
Yep, exactly. How often should you be checking all of your mirrors? Is it every
30
10
seconds.
seconds or 10 seconds seems excessive.
1,000 foot a
15
second.
seconds or so, you should be
Yeah.
looking in all your mirrors all the time.
I think
Wearing them out.
in the handbooks they say 10 seconds and I'm like, well gosh, then you're like constantly
No, it's every
like
20 seconds?
You got reminded there.
moving
25
around,
seconds?
huh?
25.
Gosh, this is really good feedback. I really appreciate the participation. It makes my life easier sitting up here. Yes,
Coming from doing traffic control, please, for God's sake, slow down in the work zone.
yes. Yep, please.
And stay sober.
Thank you. Yeah, stay sober.
You know, when I took a motorcycle safety course, it took it years ago, man, like 10 years ago, and I always remember what stuck with me. It actually made me a better driver. It's the term search, which means scan ahead, evaluate your situation, adapt to it, have a good reaction, something like that. And I think that's SEARC is cooperate with your circumstances or your surroundings, and then have a safe distance. Every letter of the word search meant something that had to do with driving safety. And
I
think that
would
should
love
be
for you
just-
to write that down for me. Would you
It's
mind?
recorded.
Huh?
It's recorded.
Oh, you have me on tape?
Well, yeah, we're Facebook Live, but if we can get it
Let me think about what the last two letters mean, because I
Okay.
know they all mean something really
Do you have a piece of
significant.
paper? I would love to use that in a future safety campaign. That's the thing, is all of my safety campaigns that we come out with come from the drivers. Like I said, I don't want safety to come from somebody sitting behind a desk. Safety needs to come from you guys. So if you guys ever have any good ideas, anything to contribute, anything that you're seeing over the road that you think needs to change, cause man, that's gonna cause an accident. You don't have to tell me who, cause I know how y'all are, but if you guys tell me what the situation is, I'd be happy to do safety campaigns or incentive programs. I do a lot of incentive programs. We just increased the clean inspection bonus to $50 a pop, and every driver that received a clean inspection during the first quarter was entered into a drawing, and they all got $250 Visa gift cards. One driver won a custom driver seat that he gets to have follow him no matter what truck he's in. He did opt to have a $500 Visa gift card instead, but it's still an option. And then a custom bunk mattress. We did a poll on Facebook to see what you guys wanted to see as prizes, you know, because we do laptops and all of that for driver appreciation, so I really wanted to do something different. We have boot incentive programs. I mean, we try to keep it fresh for you guys and incentivize you. So any ideas like that is much appreciated as well. Let's see what time it is. So one more thing that I want to go over prior to leaving is we are going to be implementing a learning management system. So what is a learning management system? It's called Infinity, and it is being adopted industry-wide through other trucking companies, and we do a really good job here at the onboarding and training. You know, we have an extensive orientation, flatbed, Fresno securement, training, coaching, training, student training. We do a really good job at all of that. But what we don't do a good job at is ongoing training throughout your employment, okay? And so I'm trying to fix that, and I need your help in order to fix it. So what it is that you will be assigned, I haven't decided yet, maybe we can take a vote, either monthly or quarterly safety trainings that will serve as our safety meetings, right? Anytime I've went to litigation, they wanna know our safety trainings, you know? And I have to regretfully say that we don't have quarterly or monthly safety trainings. And they're videos, okay, or we can upload our own content as well. It could be PowerPoint videos. And none of the videos are longer than 7 minutes long, so they're totally manageable. And then at the end of every video is a multiple choice quiz that's usually no longer than 6 questions. It's not hard. And this system helps us to disperse safety trainings or informational stuff to you guys, and we are very close to implementing it. It is gonna be an app, or you can access it online through the URL, right? Just by typing in the web address if you don't want the app to be on your phone. With that being said, next week I need to get with you because that's gonna be part of the apps that we're gonna download in training starting next week, I believe. I'm super close. Do you guys think that we should have monthly safety trainings? It's only 7 minutes long, or do you guys think that we should have quarterly safety trainings?
I think quarterly
Quarterly
is a lot
sounds
better.
good, yeah.
Quarterly?
Well, monthly, sometimes it kinda gets monotonous every time you have a monthly. I
Yeah.
worked with Schneider, and they had a very specific, every month you had this certain amount of videos. You work with these videos, you work with these videos, and some of the times it just felt like all you were doing is videos.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Yeah.
So were they the same videos?
Almost exactly.
Almost
the same.
exactly.
Every
I think
single
if it-
time we had a video.
Oh.
If you had variety, would your answer be a little different?
It would be
Yes.
different, yes.
Okay.
It
Okay.
would depend,
Absolutely.
because, especially because if you're doing safety videos, you kinda wanna hit the major points a lot of the times. And it's gonna be a kind of an annual kind of recycle where you're gonna do it again.
See, I won't do that. I wouldn't do that. There would be variety. I mean, I'm not saying I wouldn't repeat it on an annual basis, depending on what's happening at the time. I may need to, you know,
And that's where
repeat.
a lot of us
but-
are like, quarterly is a little bit easier to manage.
Okay.
because One, if you put like 3 videos that you have to watch every quarter,
Uh-huh.
that's something we can easily manage.
Okay.
So like a 30-minute spurt where we can sit there, watch videos.
That's
answer
great
your
feedback.
questions.
I appreciate that very much. I didn't realize that Schneider did that, so.
Schneider does it,
Schneider,
US Express
CRE
does
ones.
it.
So you're familiar with
Yeah.
it then? Was
Yeah.
it videos and then?
It was, with Sierra England, we had videos and we had to do a call-in.
A call in?
Yeah.
You would call in
you
your,
would call in
training.
with your drive manager and they would have to have everyone there on a conference call. And if you missed it, you had to listen to the recording and then there was something that you had to do
Did that
to
serve as a
prove.
safety meeting?
Yeah,
Okay, whoa, that's a really good idea.
so, yeah, you can have it to where, cause obviously we can't always be there at the same time, we're
Mhm.
busy, we're
Sure.
sleeping, whatever.
Spread out across the country.
Yeah,
Mhm.
if you can have a system to where we can listen to it on our own time that we're
Mhm.
available, to where we just sign in
Mhm.
and it shows that we listen to it and obviously you wanna
Yeah.
prevent it, you can't skip through it, you gotta
Yeah.
listen to it,
Right.
then yeah.
Well, and I think that this learning management system, Infinity, is gonna serve that purpose, so, yeah, that's interesting though, yes.
So when I did my safety meetings I was a field safety coach for K&D Services. When I
Mhm.
did our safety meetings every quarter, we would also tailor it to conditions for the season. So like preventing heat stroke during the summer, winter,
Yeah.
icy driving conditions,
Sure.
stuff like that.
Yeah, well, the first order of business for me that I would like to address is CSA. Does everybody know what CSA is?
It's a point system for the company, and you start racking up too many points, and did I get that?
Well, it's the point system for the DOT.
For the DOT,
Yeah.
and but that's how they look at you. Oh, okay, they racked up a bunch of points. Let's go ahead and pull them into the scales a little bit more.
Exactly, but the misconception is that it's only for the company. You, as a driver, also get CSA points, so, both the motor carrier and the driver. So anytime you get a violation over the road, if it falls under one of the categories, hours of service, vehicle maintenance, driver fitness, which is your CDL, med card, restrictions on your license, crash, and then controlled substance and alcohol. If it falls under one of those categories, there's CSA points associated with it, and then you get it, and it stays with you for, it's time weighted for 2 or 3 years, depending on the type of violation, and then the motor carrier for 3 years, okay? And I will tell you, we're struggling with our CSA points right now. We, combined is over the threshold in 3 different categories: hours of service, driver fitness, and vehicle maintenance. And Blackwell is over the threshold for hours of service, okay? So, and it's a big deal. Our insurance company came here and did an audit, and they're very concerned with our CSA scores, and our insurance premiums went up. It's a big deal when we have to go to litigation. They see that cause it's public information, they see that, and that's the bone that they get in their mouth, you know? You are not a safe carrier, look at your CSA scores. So we have to work on getting our CSA scores down, and you guys are the front runners, man. So keep that in mind. So I would really like to have some training on CSA as our first order of business through Infinity. Do you think that drivers are gonna have an issue with the learning management system, or is it becoming pretty standard?
For most companies, it's a pretty standard thing, especially the bigger ones.
Okay,
And for most people that haven't done it yet, it's gonna be a kind of a process. You're gonna have, it's
Sure.
gonna be more of a, you're gonna have to kind of get them used to it.
sure, absolutely. So, in your opinion, how long should I give drivers to either download the app or access the URL and get used to it? Do you think 90 days is sufficient?
Usually it would be if you're gonna start the process next week, give
Mhm.
them like 60 days, that's 2 months.
Mhm.
That's actually not that hard of a thing for most people to do.
Why
Yeah.
90? I mean,
Well, 90 days, if you want them to start their training, you want to give them some time to get the
Get
thing
used to
downloaded
it.
and then
Yeah,
get
Like
them
you
used
give
to
them too
Jared,
much
what do you
time, they're
think?
gonna get,
Yeah,
they're gonna
complacent.
procrastinate and wait till the very end.
yeah,
And
exactly.
you don't wanna give them 90 days, cause if you have training already put in place for the 90 days, then
Yeah,
you
okay.
don't wanna do it.
Well, I just don't want this to feel like a punishment to anybody. I want everybody to, in a perfect world, embrace it, because we really need to improve, safety and compliance within the company in order for the company and, quite frankly, you to be successful. these are strides that we have to make in the right decision, and I'm really hoping that I can get the drivers to embrace it,
Well,
so.
other companies pay for you to.
You would be on duty when you do this, like,
Mhm.
because it's.
Well, but if
training
you're
and they-
paid cents per mile, then how would I do something like that?
Usually what they would do is per video, they would give you like $15 for you watching your videos.
Mhm.
And they would pay you by that. It was essentially, it's an incentive to watch the videos.
Sure.
Sooner, yeah, instead of procrastinating or.
But we do have a performance bonus, that you guys get, and
That's right, it's part of-
safety and compliance and performance is all wrapped up into that performance bonus.
Mhm.
So, I didn't actually think of doing that, but maybe at first it's something that we can consider as an incentive to get everybody on board.
Yeah, they with most, I think with CR England, they did the same thing that's called training pay, which
Mhm.
would be, you watch your videos
Mhm.
and they'll pay you for the training pay,
Okay.
which is at most $15.
Yeah, yeah, 'cause it's only a 7-minute long
Yeah,
video,
well,
it's
if
nothing,
you got like 3 videos, when you watch all 3 of them and you do your,
okay,
you send them back and they approve that you've watched them and completed
Okay.
it, they would send you the pay.
Some
All right.
companies have hours of videos.
yeah, oh.
Yeah.
I wouldn't subject anybody to that. I just want safety to be in the forefront of your brains, you know, I want, cause we have a tendency as human beings to become complacent and forgetful, you know, and I just think that it's good to have a reminder, so. Alright, were there any live questions on
No.
Facebook? None?
Nobody has.
Nobody loves us.
Yeah, we kind of didn't get it out there that we're
Yeah.
doing it because Luis was out this
Oh,
week.
okay. Does anybody have any questions, comments, concerns for me before I wrap it up? No? It's Friday, y'all wanna get out of here?
So,
Yeah.
Yes.
the weekly thing this time of year, it is hot, hydrate,
Yes.
take care of yourself out there.
And don't wait till you get to
Hydrate
Fresno
and-
to
and
hydrate.
Also, we got fire season coming.
Yeah. Don't wait to get to Fresno to hydrate. It is frickin' hot down there and you gotta make sure to stay hydrated and build it up before you even get there, okay? Alright, you guys, have a good weekend and be safe.
Nice to meet you.
Thank you.